Go.
What's up, Cholos? It's been a while. We're back here again in South Denmark with my pal here, Alexander, making another podcast live. Also got a couple of homemade brewskis that I made myself. And some wild turkey bourbon. So the brewski will be nice. Do you have an opener, Troy? Actually, I don't think I have brought one up here.
I am born in Denmark, but you can't be half German without having a opener on your
right
on your key ring.
Right.
So let's. I heard that this is your homemade brew.
Yeah, it's my homemade brewski.
Wow, that is going to be interesting. Like the process of brewing beer apparently is fascinating.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to trying these.
This recipe is from the 1980s. It's called an amber ale.
Yeah. Amber ale. That sounds interesting. But yeah, like now that we have the camera on, we don't need to talk all the time. I feel like we don't need to fill these silences.
No.
Let's just take it in and enjoy these beers. I think.
Man.
Because this is very special. Like we actually have video now, so we can actually show how we pour the beer.
It's a nice color there.
Yeah, it.
Nice foam.
Not gonna lie to the viewers here that we already tried them yesterday, and it is pretty damn good beer. How much it was it that you paid for each bottle? Like half a liter of this?
Like half a liter of this, like when I was making it, half a liter of this would be maybe 60 cents.
Yeah.
60, 70 cents. So
wow.
Definitely like ingredients. But I think like the interesting thing though is that the bottles cost just as much as the ingredients themselves.
Yeah.
But the thing about glass is though that it can be reused.
Yeah.
So
all you have to do is like put them in the dishwasher or hand wash them. I don't know which is easier.
Disinfect them in the dishwasher, definitely on the highest temperature, and then they're good to go again. Cheers, man!
Homemade brew. Homemade brew to go. That is good beer. It kind of like has a IPA taste to it.
Yeah.
Even though it is, what did you call it?
American Amber Ale.
American Amber.
Yeah. I did that. Like I bought the ingredients for it in what do you call it? Like an all grain kit for it.
Oh yeah, right.
Because if you're really skilled, you know what you need, right? And then you can pick it out, and it will be much cheaper. It will be cheaper than this even.
No.
But then you know it, right? I don't know like how much malt I would need or how much humle I would need for this and the brewing process, since I'm a newbie, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
It sure is an interesting process. I think when I edit this, I'm gonna put some of the pictures you sent me of the kit so that you can see that. I'm gonna edit that in so that we can see that on the screen now.
Let me know if you need any pictures of like the brewing process of the because like the gear is in there that I used. But I have like some pictures of that in use when I was like boiling this.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I will have like one thing about brewing. The hardest part is the day that you do it, and the day that you bottle it a month later.
Yeah.
Right? I was like when I was like bottling it, then I was just coming home from vacation, right? And it was hot AF in Denmark. Like 30 degrees Celsius, even warmer in the kitchen there, right? And we were home like at midnight or in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
So I was like standing there with like sweat dripping down my face and bottling this 45 bottles of brewskis and spilling beer everywhere again.
So, I don't know about blood, but sweat has definitely been provoked from this beer. But you can also taste. It is very good.
Yeah. You can taste the what is humle in English?
Barley.
You can taste the barley.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. 5% or what?
Yeah, 5.3%. No, that's.
And then there's a good old bourbon here.
Yeah.
That's your
Wild
favorite.
turkey. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Like, I don't know why people don't like this. I mean, I think it is smooth.
Definitely.
If you are up for like holding this in your mouth for 10 seconds, you can definitely feel the oak barrel heavy in it too, and it's strong.
It's not like a usual blend that just scratches in the throat on the way down.
This is what I would want in my pocket flask if I were skiing in 20 minus somewhere in Norway or northern Sweden, right?
Yeah.
Because that definitely warms up, and it's not that expensive, right? Compared to all the other whiskeys. Like, an interesting thing there is that me and Alexander, we walked to Germany today.
Yeah, that was at the, what was it, the Gendarm
the Gendarm path.
It's a path that connects up Denmark and Germany, not by a highway, but by just a simple pathway, a simple bridge that goes from one end across a river, I think it was, just like a small river, and then to the other country. And until today, I didn't actually know that there was houses there. So I don't know
From
if they used to check up
in 1920 when it was built.
But apparently they don't do that anymore. I mean, we walked across the border, no problem, and got a nice single malt Scotch that I bought, the Glenlivet 12-year-old.
I gotta mention that I sure as shit didn't believe you when you were saying that prices on whiskey had gone up due to inflation. But then I witnessed that with my own eyes on this border shop. With single malt whiskeys that was a lot less before, has suddenly gone up in price. And I felt holy shit. Talisker Storm is now 10 euros more expensive.
I keep watching the camera because it's so unusual for us that we have video on.
To have the camera there rolling.
But I just thought about Joe Rogan never looks into the camera either. So so in that sense, it's not a problem, I think. But I see that it is spiking heavily the closer we get to the mic, so I don't actually think we need to be this close.
I don't think so either.
We can just if we turn the microphone a little bit like that, and just for instance, if I want to just sit over here to have a little bit more chill conversation, you see the mic is still spiking away, even though I am far away, but this is just much more chill.
You can just dump my blazer behind the couch there, by the way. I mean,
what is all this shit anyway?
Yeah, I can dump that too behind the couch.
So this is the corner.
Yeah.
The corner.
This is the corner. This is the corner.
There's a literal corner couch. That's actually amazing. We should do more podcasts in this corner, because it is literally the corner. We haven't scripted any of this. This is just pure spontaneity. So this is genius. Cheers, man.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. And we'll get this edited. This is completely. It's not live because we will edit this, but this is like a. Spontaneous podcast.
I would have done it live if it was 1,000 viewers. Definitely. Then I would also upgrade my equipment.
If we had a viewership out there. But who knows? Maybe there are some beer fans. I mean, we've been through the process of brewing tonight.
I can explain the process a little bit further. so like you have the malt.
Mm.
That's the first thing you have in, and then it's like like just sitting in the brewer, right?
Yeah.
And you pour water in.
Yeah.
Like how much you're going to brew.
Yeah.
And then you need to raise it to a boiling temperature.
Yeah.
Like it is.
Okay.
It needs to. Yeah. It needs
So
to,
like close to 100.
close to 100.
Wow, that's boiling
100,
temperature.
yeah.
Yeah. Science
crazy
for smart
shit,
people.
man, because before this it's also like in some other temperature a little bit, and then it comes up to the boiling temperature. That's the last step, right?
Yeah.
Because it needs to soak in the barley and stuff. But before you have this boiling temperature, then it's maybe up to 60 degrees Celsius,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then you have the pump activated, which is pumping water, circulating water over and over on the hops. Not the hops, I'm sorry, about the malt.
Yeah.
This is to get the flavor out of it and to eventually end up with what you call wort in
Wort.
English. That is
Interesting.
that is the product that is finished after the boiling process, right? The beer.
Mm.
But before you can turn it into beer, the wort needs to go into the yeast tanks or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So then you turn off the pump and you bring it up to boiling temperature, and you're adding these bags of barley. Did you call it? Or is it barley or hops?
Barley. Yeah. Yeah. It's barley.
And you add like bags of like barley and hops if it is one, and in the recipe. And this is like where you need to be on the ball, right? Because you need to like add a bag of hops or the barley, right?
Yeah.
Into this boiling thing.
Yeah. Like a huge kettle or something.
But you need to like do this with like 10 to 15 minute spaces.
Yeah.
So you need to have like an alarm set, like, now we have the next bag ready, like dump it.
Yeah.
You're like, now the next bag ready to dump it, right?
Wow. So that's like at what do you call it? Samlebåndsproduktion. I don't know the English term for that.
Yeah,
like on
conveyor
the
production.
conveyor production. It just needs to happen quickly. So that you can.
But with the exact time space between them. And when you're done with all this stuff, right, and it has been boiling for about an hour ish.
Yeah.
It needs to be cooled down.
Yeah.
And it needs to be cooled down fast as hell, man.
Yeah.
So how are we going to do that? I have like a chiller that I had to I'm sorry, I almost swear there, but I had to MacGyver this solution, because normally you would have like a contraption so that you can attach a hose to your kitchen sink. And have like hot water going through that, and then to the chiller, and then back into the sink, right? Getting it cooled down. I couldn't do that for some reason, because I did with my faucets. So I needed to MacGyver a solution with the garden hose and attach that to the thing, and then have like part of, and then the rest of the garden hose into the sink. But it worked, and you get the temperature down to like 20 something degrees Celsius very, very fast, like not within minutes, maybe within minutes, 15 minutes maybe, it was down. And when that's done, it's time to transfer it into a yeast container, or a container. A big container, and then you add the yeast.
That only has dry yeast or wet yeast, like
dry yeast.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not the yeast that you would buy, dry yeast that you would buy at the store.
Yeah.
Because it needs to be something. You need to be like sure that you have the correct shit when you make it with beer, because if you are just adding something from the store, it might not react the way it should react with the wort, right? And you won't.
So it needs to be special yeast for
made
beer,
for beer, yeah.
for beer production. That's interesting.
So then I added that. After I had drained it into the container, and then it was sitting for 7 days, 7 or 8 days. Then I pumped it over to another container that was cleaned and disinfected, right?
Yeah.
And doing this to try and avoid to get as much yeast in these bottles.
Yeah,
but as you can see, there was still some in the bottles, right?
Yeah.
And the only way that you can avoid that is if you are transferring it to tanks, right? And the minus with that is that you get a little less beer every time you're transferring it.
Yeah.
So for this to be totally clean, it would have needed to be. I wouldn't have needed to transfer it maybe 2 times more.
Yeah.
Into the containers being cleaned after each other, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, and then after sitting 7 days in the tank, I transferred it again to another one where I added another bag of barley. And this was a project, man, because I was going to Croatia, and then there was this heat wave coming, right? And the thing about this is that when you are storing it in the containers shouldn't reach a higher temperature than 25 degrees, 24.
No.
Room temperature-ish, right?
In Croatia, that's a bit hard.
Yeah, but
keep it down.
But it was in Denmark, right? And it was coming up to 30 degrees in this heat wave, 35. So I thought holy shit, what do I do, right, to save my produce here?
Yeah.
So I took the container and put it in the fucking shower.
Genius.
Because I figured that's gotta be the coldest room in the house.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, just want to see if the camera is filming you as well. Not that much.
Do I need to move?
Maybe I'll just move it. Yeah, it's not filming so much of you. Yeah, I'll move it. I'll move it. Move the camera.
Right.
There we go. Without stopping it. We're on 19 minutes, by the way.
Okay.
So
I'll be careful with putting it there though, because if it goes there, then
I could just put it. This is on air on air problem solution. Figuring out.
But I'll continue though.
I'll just hold it here for a while.
So yeah, then I put it in the shower, because of figuring out that the shower gotta be the coldest room in the house during a heat wave.
Yeah.
Because it is what do you call it? It is the most isolated room, considering that it is våtrumssikret, wet room safe, right? And the sun wasn't shining directly into it, so that was a solution, and it seems like it has worked.
Yeah. Wow, that is an interesting process.
Yeah, man.
But I think I figured out a place where it can record us both.
Okay.
In the entire room now.
Cool.
So I just put it like this. Yeah, it should theoretically be able to do it anyway.
So yeah, man. When we got back to Croatia, then I had beer ready to be tapped onto these bottles. And 2 weeks later, they were ready to be drinking. Yeah. It's actually, I don't remember completely when. Yeah, I bottled them the 24th.
Yeah.
Of July. Yeah. I bottled them the 24th of July.
There we go. That'll be good for the rest of the podcast. That's nice.
I bottled it the 24th of July, so almost
Yeah.
a month ago.
Yeah.
Almost a month ago. So I gotta say, like, I am glad, like, because like I was considering for the next one if I should buy a keg to put them in.
Mm.
But the problem with a beer keg,
It goes sour pretty fast. I can
after
imagine.
7, you can only have it there for 7 weeks tops, right?
Yeah.
And on these bottles, it can last 6 months,
Wow.
probably longer.
That's much better, much more convenient, much more conserving.
Yeah, because like,
Store them in there.
eventually, as I get more, I'll get some labels, and like I'll have my own collection of my own private beer.
Yeah.
And I actually haven't bought any beer in Germany or in Denmark since I made this.
Mm.
It's my own.
Wow.
And I do believe that like this matches special beer that I have tasted in a store before.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, like if we ever told that in the podcast, but me and Alexander here was on a street market in Aarhus, getting this horrendous
Brewdog
punk.
brewed.
Yeah.
It was which was actually in the same glass as this.
Yeah.
But now I'm sipping much better beer than that. I mean, this is homemade, so this is much more smooth than that Brewdog was.
Well,
that was very acidic in a way.
It was like getting a knife in the stomach drinking it.
Yeah. That wasn't so good. The ones we had on the bar, on the real bar, afterwards, that was much better.
All right, yeah.
But not that one at Street Food in Aarhus. That was. But then again, I mean, like they have a lot of other stuff at Street Food too. But just the Brewdog, that wasn't really it. It wasn't really my taste.
No.
Nah. So yeah, what else have we done this weekend? I mean, I should reiterate that I came down here yesterday, and then you had planned the poker evening.
Well, before that, we made chili con carne.
Guys. What?
We made some epic chili con carne.
Right. Good chili con carne with, was it ground beef?
Yeah,
Ground beef.
From the butcher.
From the butcher with onions and shit.
You could have, like, problem is, like, I would have made it with short rib or something, but that's really expensive in Denmark.
Unless you are in Croatia.
Yeah, unless you're in Croatia, where it costs $10 for 4 pounds of short rib. But
Man, I'm going through this beer pretty fast because it's like it's so delicious. So I'm just like sipping and sipping and sipping.
That's good, man.
Cheers. I have this. I have half a liter down.
Yeah.
The podcast is about to take heights, but we had the poker. So
we made the chili con carne.
Yeah.
With ground beef, and everybody thought it was delicious. And then we had our poker abend here in South Denmark, and man, it was crazy.
How long have you guys actually been doing that?
At least a year, I think. On and off.
And yesterday was like my intro to his colleagues, the guys.
The guys, they're
from your work, and oh boy, man. Were they happy to go to the liquor?
Yeah.
I had some Japanese whiskey with me that I ended up because I still study, so I don't have that much money yet. So I thought I'll play one round and then I'll deal for you guys. But then people were like, no, you gotta play. Come on, and then they were like, No, you could just bet whiskey.
Yeah.
So that's what I started. That's what they started doing. They started paying me like 50 kroners. That's like $10 for a shot of whiskey, so that I could play the round.
Yeah.
And by the end of the evening, my Japanese whiskey there, the Akashi white oak blend, had taken a serious hit. Pretty much.
Yeah.
But I think they liked it.
Yeah.
They seemed to like it.
I think that if I was like blind tested, I wouldn't have told the difference. I couldn't have told the difference between Akashi and Scotch single malt.
No. It definitely wasn't bitter.
Very.
But generally, Japanese whiskey, even if it is blended, doesn't taste that horrible.
No.
In fact, the only Japanese whiskey I've tasted that tasted abysmal was the Suntory.
Yeah.
And that was also like real cheap. That was like 20 euros for it.
Yeah.
And this one was a bit more. This one was 35 euros.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it definitely was something. Was an experience to try it. But yeah, the poker evening was a great success, man.
I wish I had some better cards when I was like playing it, because like I felt like I did the right call on many of my bets. For it, right? You were watching me. I even went like all in on the same hand that you had at one point. But still, anyways, you can't win them all.
Nah.
And then
I was close to winning though. I was in a heads up with one of the guys, Dieter.
Yeah.
Very funny guy. I don't know where the fuck you met him. Like fucking 55-year-old guy or something who still drinks like a fish.
Yeah.
Still parties.
Like,
man, if I can have that energy when I get 55 years old, that would be.
I think like it's also I think it's also a combination of like being able to say, fuck it, I retire at age 50.
Yeah.
Very few people can do that.
But he's retired?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I said, like he sold his company, right?
Yeah.
To sail around the world.
What was it actually he worked with? What was his company?
Selling stuff for, like these farms, milking cows. Milking equipment for cows.
Right. Agricultural stuff. Right. Selling, like a vendor selling stuff to the agricultural industry.
Yeah.
I guess.
So he figured out like I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
And then he freaking sailed from Denmark to the Bahamas and the US.
Wow. Holy shit, man. So he's a sailor now.
Yeah.
Well, that explains his energy level.
Yeah.
Like that explains how he can be. He had his catchphrase from yesterday was the one from Bruce Almighty.
Yeah.
You know, where he says to God, "It's good, it's good, it's good." Like that. And I jumped on that because it's also one of my favorite quotes from that movie. That was an epic guy. Epic guy. Yeah. Yeah,
definitely. Like, they sailed from Denmark to there.
Wow. Would have been cool to have them here tonight, like join the podcast.
Not sure they would have been able to, considering how much
they drank.
Yeah, how much they drank. like today, right?
You could say the same thing. Where's my house? Well, I drank it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But anyways, epic evening. Some good rounds of poker there.
Yeah.
Good food. Everybody was happy, and I like that. For once, even though we played about money, it didn't felt like this was about money.
No, definitely not. I agree.
And it's a good feeling, like making other people happy.
And I think that's the motto that this guy, this sailor guy, 55 years old, is also living by. Because I don't know if it was your girlfriend or if it was you who told me that he has lost like 1,000 kroners over the past year. $150 in total to you guys. But he still keeps showing up. why does he do that? Because money doesn't mean shit to him.
No, it's fun.
It's because he still feels young when he's hanging out with you guys. And I could definitely feel that with him yesterday. He was like always trying to like get into on my terminology, my youth slang, trying to get like we were even like talking some German. There's this German joke that you do.
Me shaking my head, understanding nothing.
Warum ist die Banane krumm? And then I knew from my childhood, weil niemand in den Urwald fliegt und die Banane gerade biegt.
Yeah.
That he hadn't heard that, so that was new to him too, and he was so enthused. You could feel his passion being like interested in that. He wanted to know the rest of this joke.
Yeah, man.
So just that incredible zest for life, that enthusiasm he had.
Most stuff.
That was epic to experience.
So at the end of the night, everybody was like happy. I got a lot of hugs.
Yeah, me too. I was surprised by how they were that friendly at the end of the evening.
Yeah.
Not just because of the alcohol, but
like there has been like other evenings, right, where it has not been so friendful, where we have played like 4 or 5 rounds, right?
Yeah.
And I have won every single round. And be like, Joy, that doesn't beat my house. Joy, that doesn't beat my flesh. Right?
Shit, man.
So I can understand, like, in the evening like that, then you're not, that's not fun, right?
Yeah.
Some guy's just high on himself, showing his cards every time he has won something.
But he did win yesterday, twice actually.
Yeah.
The guy named Hans won the first round, and then Dieter won the 2 second rounds. The 2 last rounds. So that was pretty good. Although I almost had him, I was like in a heads up with him at the end. Yeah. I was the big stack, but then he gets some bullshit. Yeah, he wins on the river. No, the last card, the river. He gets an ace, or was it just a 9, I think, or something. Some bullshit. Yeah. And then the the stack changes, and I'm out.
Definitely.
That's that's what happens in poker. You know, you can't control the outcome all the time. Especially when it's in a heads up. And you guys also play with the blinds changing a lot faster. Yeah. Like once every 10 minutes that the blind will double. That is a short interval, relatively short.
We didn't always do that, but in the beginning, it just took too long time to have it at longer intervals than that. Because then you were able to like drag out the time a lot longer, right? And then one round was like maybe like. Almost twice as long as what we played yesterday, right? So that's the reason why we changed it, because so
you can play multiple rounds.
Yeah. Well. Because like it's not fun just to play one round for an entire evening. Yeah. Right. No.
Yeah.
So it's like turbo poker, like we played in BetSafe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, do you want to like quit this podcast now and then like we start another one with Better Call Saul?
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah. That's actually not a bad idea.
Because then you're keeping it clean.
Yeah, that's true. So this one is just generally about beer brewing, poker, just hosting a party in general. How you do that, a tutorial on how you host a party, right?
Yeah.
That's what this is. That's what this was.
You have some great dinner. Yeah. You have some great drink, and be sure to check if the cholos you're inviting to this event are actually a fan of bourbon whiskey, or if they're not. In this case, my wild turkey was not well accepted.
Yeah, and I'm quoting the same life enthusiast as I've already praised, but a fan of bourbon, he sure wasn't. So his quote from yesterday was, "Hey Patrick, don't you have some single malt Scotch instead of this crap?"
Yeah.
And did you? No, you didn't have any. But you did have your beer.
I wanted to say no, Dieter, I didn't go to the store and buy a $50 single malt for this event.
No.
I'm not that rich.
But they did take away your homemade beer.
Yeah.
Like, how many bottles did we go through?
I don't know, at least 10.
10 half-liter, 10 pint bottles of homemade American beer.
There's not a lot left.
That's 5 liters of beer.
It worked extremely fine though.
Yeah, it did, and it was definitely a good evening. But this entire day, man, today I've just felt very tired.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest. It's been a long time since I've had so much to drink, and I don't know. Like, it does. I could say that it doesn't have to get that crazy every evening, and it definitely not every evening. And some would say that it doesn't ever has to get so crazy.
It has to be not crazy.
But the thing is, sometimes when the vibes are good and the evening is good, I mean, heck, this happened all the way back to ancient Greece with with Aristotle and Goethe. Like, don't you think all those philosophers had a little bit too much to drink every once in a while?
I think they had a lot of drink.
They drank a lot.
Yeah.
And sometimes it didn't just stay within like 3 or 4 glasses of wine. Sometimes it was like, no, two bottles of wine for each. Like,
I'm wondering like how dental health was back then.
Yeah, probably not the best.
No,
I mean, you can see that in Red Dead, right? That's the perfect example. Their teeth is completely yellow.
Yeah, and then if yeah. All right, let's
stop
this then.
Let's wrap this one up, and the next one will be Better Call Saul. Then
don't forget to sub though, Cholos.
Yeah,
Putting a lot of effort in for this.